Today we will see the last point from the lesson number 1, that is the gravitation. Our last point is escape velocity. In last lecture we see what is mean by the free fall and what is the gravitational potential energy. Today we will see what is mean by the escape velocity. We know that when we throw a ball in upward direction, its velocity decreases because of the gravitation of the earth. In starting point, the velocity of ball is at highest point, but as it goes in upward direction, velocity decreases, and at some certain point it becomes zero. You know that after some time ball comes again towards the earth's direction. That means at that point the velocity of ball becomes zero, and then the ball starts to come towards the ground. That means it is falling down. Its maximum height depends on its initial velocity. How much force is applied on that ball at the initial point is essential to calculate the maximum height obtained by the ball. It means the initial velocity is responsible for the ball, how much height it can obtain. According to Newton's third equation of motion, that is the v square is equal to u square plus 2as. This is the Newton's third equation of motion. According to this, we can find the final velocity, that is the v of the ball, with the help of this equation. Now final velocity is 0 and a is the acceleration. Acceleration due to gravity, it is denoted by the minus g, because as we go in upward direction value of g decreases, therefore it is denoted by the minus g. Now you can calculate the maximum height of the ball. How much height can the ball obtain can be calculated with the formula, that is s is equal to minus u square upon 2g. Here s is the displacement or maximum height obtained by the ball, u is the initial velocity of the ball, and g is the acceleration due to gravity. It is denoted by negative sign because it is in the upward direction opposite to the direction of the gravitational force. Now see, higher the initial velocity, that is the value of u, the larger is the height reached by the ball. Means if we apply the high pressure, high force on the ball, it obtain higher initial velocity, that is the value of u, and it can reach at the highest position from the earth. The reason for this is that the higher the initial velocity, the ball will oppose the gravity of the earth more, and larger will be the height to which it can reach. It means when we apply more force, at that time it can obtain high initial velocity, and it can oppose the effect of gravitational force applied by the earth, and it can reach the highest height. We have seen above that value of g keeps decreasing as we go higher from the surface of the earth, and the force pulling the ball downwards decreases the ball as the ball goes up. If we keep increasing the initial velocity of the ball, it will reach larger and larger heights, and after particular value of initial velocity of the ball is able to overcome the downward pull by the earth and can escape the earth forever and will not fall back on the earth. It means when we increase the initial velocity, the ball obtain the highest height. You know that when we start increasing the initial velocity again and again, at that time at certain point ball obtain such type of velocity that it can escape the earth's gravitational force effect, and it can go out of this portion and it never comes back towards the earth. This velocity is called as the escape velocity. Means this is the velocity which is used by the ball to escape from the earth's gravitational force area. We can determine its value by using the law of conservation of energy as follows. It means escape velocity is the velocity or initial velocity which is obtained by the object, which helps it to move from the earth's gravitational force area, and it can escapes from this area. It never comes back towards the earth again. It go at the infinite distance. An object going vertically upward direction from the surface of the earth having initial velocity equal to the escape velocity. initial velocity is equal to escape velocity, means it can oppose the gravitational force and go outside of its effect. Escape the gravitational force of the earth, and the force of gravity being inversely proportional to the square of the distance becomes zero only at infinite distance from the earth. You know that Newton's law of gravitation, in that we study that the force applied on that object is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the two, the object and the earth. Like this, when the distance is very much higher, at that time the force becomes zero. That means at the infinite distance the force applying on that object becomes zero, so it can easily escape the gravitational force area and go outside of it. This means that for the object to be free from the gravity of the earth, it has to reach infinite distance from the earth, and the object will come to rest at the infinite distance and will stay there. That means when object obtain a escape velocity, it can escape the gravitational force area and go at infinite distance and stay there. It never fall again on the earth. This velocity is known as the escape velocity. It can be shown by the law of conservation of energy, that is on the surface of the earth how much energy in their object, and at the infinite distance how much energy is there in the object. It is given in the following equation. On the earth, the total energy is equal to the E1, and it is addition of kinetic and potential energy on the earth. It is given in the equation. And on the infinite distance, total energy is given by the E2, and it is 0 because at infinite distance there is no gravitational force, therefore mass is equal to 0 and velocity is also equal to 0, therefore total energy will be 0. According to law of conservation of energy, E1 is equal to E2. It is shown in this equation, and by solving these equations we find the formula for calculating the escape velocity. We have to remember this formula, what is meant by escape velocity and how we calculate it. Escape velocity is equal to under root 2 gm upon r. Here g is the gravitational constant, m is the mass of the earth, and r is the radius of the earth. It can next formula, that is the under root 2 small gr. Here small g is the acceleration due to gravity and r is the radius of the earth. These two formulas can be used for the calculating escape velocity. The value of escape velocity on the earth is the 11.2 km per second. This much velocity if object can obtain, then it can escape from the earth's gravitational force effect. You know what is meant by the escape velocity and what is its value. Then which objects need escape velocity? Here they have given us information. The spacecrafts which are sent to the moon or other planets have to their initial velocity larger than the escape velocity. The spacecrafts are goes into the space and they require escape velocity more greater than the initial velocity, or initial velocity must be greater than the escape velocity so that they can easily move outside from the Earth's gravitational force area and go into the space. Their escape velocity is, or their initial velocity is much greater than the escape velocity, so they can easily overcome the Earth's gravitational attraction and can travel to these objects. It means escape velocity is needed for the objects or spacecrafts to move away from the Earth's gravitational force area. Here we have completed our first lesson, that is the gravitation. The point below it, do you know, it is deleted from the syllabus, we don't have to study it. Now in the first lesson, that is the gravitation, we have known the following points. First point is the gravitation, what is meant by gravitation and how it is applied. Gravitation is applied by the earth and its direction towards the center of the earth in vertically downward direction. It also applies on the two objects on the surface of the earth or also on the universe. So it is known as the universal force. Then we see the force and motion. What is the force and how it affects the motion of the object. Then we see the Kepler's law. Kepler have given the three laws. Kepler's first law tells us that the orbit of a planet is an ellipse with the sun at one end of the foci. Second law is the line joining the planet and the sun sweeps equal areas in equal intervals of time. And last, third law is the square of its period of revolution around the sun is directly proportional to the cube of the mean distance of the planet from the sun. Kepler has given these three laws. Then now we study the Newton's universal law of gravitation. According to this law, the force, every object in the universe attracts every other object with a definite force, and this force is directly proportional to the product of the masses of these two objects and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Then we see the next point is Earth's gravitational force, how Earth's gravitational force acts on the objects. Then we see the Earth's gravitational acceleration. Earth's gravitational acceleration is applied due to gravitational force. It is denoted by small g, and which factors affect the Earth's gravitational acceleration, that is the change along the surface of the Earth, then change with height, and next change with depth. Next we see the mass and weight. Then free fall. What is the free fall and what is the escape velocity? Here we have completed our first lesson. Today's homework for you is the exercise given under the lesson. First you should read the lesson carefully and then solve the exercise. The points which are deleted from the syllabus I have given you here. Such type of questions which are deleted from the syllabus you should not to do. Complete the exercise given below the lesson. Here we will stop. Thank you.